guys. We are all live and excited. Thank you. Welcome. I only see 8 people join the show from my end. Welcome to the U10 show. Sorry, we were a little bit late today. If you are new to this platform, we are the U10 show. This platform create inspiring educational content to empower young people and our communities to grow, to expand, and to reach the level of prosperity that we all envision. So we say this platform is for, bringing youth and our communities, to our country, and to the world. So sometimes we also spotlight great young people who are changing conversation in our communities. And today we have engineer Thon Malek, who is also a professor, PhD student. I don't want by introduce already, but I have to talk. Who we are spotlighting today to guide us on the conversation about how to make a U-turn economically, socially, spiritually, politically, personally, when you are at the crossroad, whether as a young person on, or someone who is also adult, who is facing some challenges at the crossroads. So today will be a rich discussion. We are always live on Saturday. So please share our conversation so that it might benefit people within your network. Thanks for joining us. I don't want to take time away from our spotlight person, Engineer Thon, but on the studio here, we also have a U10 co-host, Kuri Judge, all the way from Kigali, Rwanda. Kuri, thanks for joining. And thanks for being with us today to co-facilitate this wonderful discussion on how to make a U-turn when you are on the crossroad. So thank you, Quir, and welcome, engineer. Maybe I want to give you this opportunity to introduce a bit about yourself to members who are just joining us for the first time today, and then maybe set the stage. Why was this topic really important to you? Why is it important for a person watching this show to make a U-turn toward wholeness, when they are on the crossroad? Take it away, engineer.
All right, thank you. Thank you, U-turn team. I really appreciate once more for an opportunity given. I really appreciate it, and it's really indeed an opportunity. And for those who have come forward, we can share some ideas. Yes, my name is Thon Malek. I'm an engineer, and then currently I'm a lecturer at the University of Juba, Upper University, focusing on computer science and specializing in AI. So as said earlier on, I'm a scholar at the University of South Africa in the AI program, focusing on medicinal plants. So besides that, I've done a lot in this area of motivational talks. So I'm so inspired in success because I know that everything that works, there's a reason as to why it works. So I always look into why things don't work. Because if lights are off, there's no another reason besides saying that that they are off, and so there are reasons as to why. So I'm so motivated about success because I believe that God has created each of us with uniqueness. That once we have come to this planet Earth, we have come up with something very unique. That architectural design that each of us has a position. We all have that uniqueness to construct it, develop it with the right materials so that we present to humanity that unique gift that each of us has come up with. And now that calls for understanding, getting to know what are those materials, because as each of us comes to this life, the world presents so many materials to develop that level of architecture into reality. So how do we select the right tools, the right materials, the right technical advice to bring that level of uniqueness that God has actually installed in each one of us? That's what makes me so much motivated about talking about success, because I believe that I am meant to be successful. Yes, and what I'm supposed to know now, what works and what doesn't work. Why does what works the way it works? And why can't those tools, the ones that have not been working, why don't they work the way they are working? Yes, so that's why I'm so much into this, and I love it so much to the point that I even disturbed people. I told one of the youth, and I said, now that you have invited me here, I will be an inconvenience at some point. So sometimes I shy away by not having my own show alone and talk to myself, because even when I don't have an audience, yes, I talk to myself and say, Thon, you were born with a purpose just like another person. But please don't build this architectural design with any material. Seek knowledge, seek wisdom, get the constructive materials to build. Be the best person you can be, so that the gift that God had intended that you present to humanity, present it, and that will be your last part. So that is basically what I can say as far as that is
Wow,
concerned.
wow, 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 wow. No, thank you, thank you. No one, I don't think on the youth internet anyone can, be tired of success. Huh? Because if you represent success, I don't think I don't forget. And we're not fun. We are because for me, anything that is success, I will hear it over and over again. And I know many people are watching here because they love what you are doing. They love you giving back to the community, sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience, sharing your expertise. And so my first question now, after you set up the stage on this topic, is many youth in South Sudan and across the world, just to say, they face a lot of pressure, especially in the context of South Sudanese young people like us. We are really, facing financial pressures, from our families and also from our own life, right? Because none of us, after war that took so many resources and opportunities, many of us really, you know, are trying to catch up. We didn't have that inheritance or that abundance that has been built for us. So we are the first generation to think about success, to think about wealth, you know. So what would you say to them, those young people that are facing pressure, that are at the crossroad to provide for their families early in life, and how can they can stay mentally strong when financial struggle make it difficult for them to focus on growth, like into school age and you are working hard to pay for tuition, your uncles and aunties are asking you for help, and you also want back thing number 5 because you are cool, that is the success. so, so how do you manage this balance and make a u-turn?
All right. Thank you, Paul, for that. Balancing yourself in terms of to develop that mental toughness is very challenging. But I'll just tell you my experience is that just even the environment we have been studying, you are studying on that program, you also study on that program, and you have also to manage some of the projects. Because when I was doing masters, I was on the other masters, winding up with the other masters, and also doing the second masters, and both are all are scholarships. And at the same time, I was also managing a startup in South Sudan here, where I could get some projects and also have to work on that. Yes, the first thing that I would be looking at is that first of all, I understand finances. The financial pressure is always there, but I try as much as possible to separate myself from what is called money, isn't it? That's why I said something last time that if the world is not using money and it is not talking about fame, if I'm existing without in the world without money and fame, what can I do? So I try to put money aside, isn't it? And look at what I can do. I use this. If it is something I can do something about it, let me do it. But if it is something I cannot do something about it, let me not worry about it. Because worrying is a full-time job. You know, if you get worried, then you will not work. Right. For instance, if I want to worry about the situation of the country in South Sudan here, it is something beyond my capacity, isn't it? So worrying about it, employing myself to be an employee in a company called economic crisis will not solve my problem. So I use this. If it is something I can do something about it, let me work immediately and solve it. Anything that is beyond my capacity, that one I also leave that. And then God has designed us in a way that there is something that you can do. There is something that you can present at your level. Of course, when it comes to finances, you can even have little money. With your little bit, isn't it? So now look at it this way. If I'm a student, if I'm only a student at master's level, but I also have to support, I also have to cater for, because that's stipend, support, isn't it? Yeah, you use some of the principles. You know, no West African proverb. You know, what can you do? Will you cry every day when everyone, for everyone that has is coming for burial? You know, very painful, and it will lose that level of selfish. But if that is your life, then it means that you will come get to know that now the spiritual magaber is something that is mainly in the kiroloy, just as the way we the coach. Magaber long. Should he be living the life of sadness because he happened to be planet of Magaber long? Then the answer would be no, isn't it? So that's why at some point, along a level where you have to know the help, the difference between help and emotional help. Yes, you know there is help. Help is where you anong man yanke kwato borati akwen to bullet. Yes, bugu jat, isn't it? Wala kabila kwen Kampala wala bila kwen Juba. Ikene kukachia my capacity kana ngene emotional help, isn't it? That is the situation in Ranchi Kwangro Charure because a little brand ran more than a black coin. But the reality is that in Kwang, isn't it? So good quarter every now it could buy Charure in a run about me and be. So in such a case, even though your capacity, man is supposed to check up boarding school age. At that point, which you know, teach out to school when you're at that level. You know, anong level emotional health. I've been quite of that at that far because ile bara crowd go chuka ba we mu go men kwan don da du do ko da dum chen mu ben injara ne ben ja jo. That is very good, but the reality is that to nyiban anong do ye ke le, isn't it? Yeah, that is the reality. Yes. So good can I live at all and then can I budget in the way that we can live at that time, but so that book when you sustainable. And not quite chill and quite about the entire community. Nangi chiri mi ga tiyo do Nigeria reaching peace of any time kin jara exhausted. I chige bello. Then later the level of achievement I just project. But if na chalo be sustainable, well, I'm not calling boarding school. Calling day school choga queen at that level. When you chalo you know, it is better benang a sustainable poor quality education than benang a quality education that pay EP5, isn't it? Because as time goes on, benang that level. So if I are at that level, any level, I engage with mentors. You know, everything they work through and take through. Not quite got a ball. When not quite take through, they went through exactly the same or even more than that. The quite how do you go about this level of finances so that we will go through. The last one is that everything you want through a training. I think you know training I outsource. You know, no get you get outsource to a human being. No the core things check outsource. Key support but lawyer to be competent. She outsource. Now when reach 400 and something books. They say when I started in 2013, but when go when I child of a year and a law when. Then it get you in the military academy, a chill about outsource on my behalf, one the Buravijala Kachen. So every training upon you are taking. They were in a platform, you are better people. Now, no financial stress at the level here, could we manage? Feel Galaban in a good candidate later, Yakuma Core organization will now one on a company, we will announce more financial stress, isn't it? So every training event, I can be prepared. I just like something very simple. You know, even on Niranichal Moses, the Bible. assignment every to can be of because the can but with Israel bagala ngor bagala led into the promised land. It's not that very simple. God do something, it will be very hard. You know, it will be a lot of struggle. But then you will appreciate it. Nana, then you are tell loyalty. You can in by jala that level. So now you can know those challenges. You can to develop that mental toughness. Kuchu situation, chuku man, isn't it? Yeah, now in the situation, man, that assignment is supposed to be chala koglo in the near future. Then it will be Lumranu Jalo Jayan finance minister within the state. Watching experiences Chingatik in that level of scarcity to mobilize resource like this, we can be real. And not a kid that within even a family level. Nang daman the Libina is that finance are Hindu, isn't it? Yes. Yes, finance are Hindu because the needs are unlimited, isn't it? Yes. The finances are very scarce. So you can get a line with a kinner. I say Kreman. That's why nala the next 3 years law, of course, even as we talk about Matthew, even among the youths. I'm not telephone, we complain, I don't belong to you. I'm not supposed to be here, isn't it? Whenever you're a young person, a telephone, well, your telephone, no. Based on your knowledge level and this, I'm not supposed to be here, but because you have brought me here, I have no problem. And now, I can't give up and future, you will learn to take about jail, pressure. Responsibility is supposed they take a mark balloon in the next step. Alone today, like even just at the level of our family. Even for that, my dad was very strategic because we could not just be sent at the same time. I was one son at first. Then we will the next person after me because you can be overwhelmed by the situation. If to lowering back and low at the same time. And then I tell man why ten kwan for the Jude and Kwako. So even it means now look at when it's zinky or rather chin nur moving when is the time we got to think catching anything wrong with that, isn't it? Oh now okay I can't but a job. So suppose we got to then the king look at you suppose I think life I think a stage of life of human being no each suppose. Machi ben daman ben me tar ka tar chin ki suppose lo ke suppose mol because that stage in the stage in tar kan ku ber ba chuko ku ber ba ayu ga chin ki suppose ben lo ke suppose so every assignment chi wari you tin yen ke ki suppose bu ya lo ku jal mental toughness that develop ku jal help jal it can emotional help ka kay real help emotional help ka gine jalo ran che kwang ro chwaro re le mo ke ran ke ran ke ran ti mo ke ran ti chwaro re ade ine ke chok de ade ran kwang le bra chwaro re win se ben ran mo la ye ku je dir pin ke lo ran mo ay push ade ba le rio bera lir ba yo sustainably ade wela chok but point na emotion la ga bait na la ke emotions actually methodology and emotion actually methodology. That's why for the human being you are very calm. You have to be very calm so that you are sober. I use this tool. I will not use this tool. So that is something I would say on this part of mental toughness. And now I can normally do it. Now I can about it. Don't worry about it because I've been a full-time job worry.
Shukran, Red Engineer. You know, in what you live in, the lobby hag, lon when ko je ke create bena ye korba jari yet ko kanang point on chan yare ten the lobby hag bran be self ngadi be this gratification be cake delay you delay your gratification. So I check it ben yen ye go along wala dama na create beneto. Okay, so can I'm
Mm.
near that point. So Second question, yeah, better, society dan to within kana loyal ya le wala opportunities ale. So yeah, which protocol step le be you le belong ko brana ben be independent ko be self reliance. So yeah, which step le bale you to outside there who really want to succeed in life. Yeah, yeah, kichi kano le bale.
All right, thank you. Now let me self-reliance. What are the steps suppose with the loan? You know, allow opportunities are limited, isn't it? Okay, if I were to ask young opportunities are limited, maybe because there is this concept called competition. Then the opportunities are limited. So now, okay, each of us, okay, let me say, to the other opportunities limited. Opportunities the body limited. Nana, they go join and they are actually with it because it's an opportunity. I can be you can only win a job opportunities. Jalapin, my chair, I tell you. I think good channel call Jalapin, the milk cool, channel Daman go to a Kato Jana. I don't know. Opportunities limited. No. So, but there's a role the home catching opportunity. The band by end. So, can issue to know this contemporary society can that concept. Yen to ga da ka ci ka create ko je ka hanle wagatin to ka yi ga ko na da ka na na re tiang well company yen tiang ko yen ji wa yen chen trom ka ben ya chuk da do aja yen aja tiang so we count what exists, isn't it? So meaning that ka ka to no one him a ci be to in use the idea that nana daga waga bonapinam can is something to do because we work they stop doing what they were meant to do and now they become the methodology of other people to achieve what they want to do. So meaning that assignment of when around one nangle low achieve by low so can a limitation I bay could you help pal kala ko the purple guy we are looking into case suppose below, isn't it? The color limitation a cause it Kunaira work young yes. And I go in one of his support of the my assignment. So what am I supposed to be doing? And then I discover what I'm supposed to be doing. Because I anything it's your limitation, isn't it? Because I never walk and you most supposed to be looking at limitation. Opportunities will are different things. Yes. Opportunity will are different things. So now, what are some of the practical steps we can lawyer to this level of a belief system? You know, but can't come none again. And you know, the major level of disability is to disable your belief system. That's the highest level in life. Only when around toge around chingle, only when a country toge country chingle and a bar Africa and Tioga. Because you got the koi wa mioj our countries na lot in Daroga Yumutoganaka. But because I look at you that we have been trained and other way coaching a local, isn't it? Why coaching a local, why to exist by support system, isn't it? So now I believe system when it's chalk in other chingle, isn't it? In a bank in that very big in a bank in a car, but the core, but the core, isn't it? Regardless what I tell it kachi jeng de to ga chi ko di wucho na cho ka ko na ka chi na before la ko da ka so ke the main thing e ba kan ga na de an anong isn't it ba kan I believe in na de ka nong lew the next one is to accept the change ke chol change bagam you know kor ku wali chu kor from the time the work la the changes big loy yen ka yen yin le chi le dama den ga yen ku gam system ke because change allows you to loy you know anno koy ko ki ro ger ton ke ga dama bara ki ro ger You that are tools 2019 can use the way the job on before COVID-19. You get the way and anything. The same skills level you get the same skills. Network then you manage. No, you go the same network we maintain, isn't it? But who you got learn? What is the relationship between the software engineer, the that network, when he's supposed to be a professional? You know, when you maintain the same network, you maintain the same place, with the same time and the same things, but together, then they will shape everything about you. So a change, accept things don't work the way they are supposed to work, isn't it? But we're not supposed to do it. Now, you need a change in the what did you want to run chairman some I think 2024. Now chairman with the law software. Where on when I come allow go bogu garita na go a chota nya pet lagu lo jal gam na na de rana bingari bala ko nyala. So that system of the system on the system we block the entire lagu so and the gabu jani some of my colleagues and no I think it award but then in that process no it award I'm supposed to be asking for a deposit before we go into that contractual agreement. I mean after the contractual agreement, isn't it? Kia Korba that be willing to learn. Be willing to learn every now and then. Be willing to learn. Now, really, you have a problem. Human being, be willing to learn. You know, there's a bumucha where you that the job you are encouraged Thon, since you are not an idiot, please change. You know, because only that idiot we have the same tools, we have the same mentality. You know, I'm not quite you will go around. You know, education, they are a chakor. No more on that. So now you ask this person in the 21st century, isn't it? It took over a postgraduate education. The same mentality on a kwadu in. You went to university, you graduated. Then the question you ask, what is education? What is education? You would allow wage of that education master's program, you'll have PhD, we're going to birth certificate because all of them will have my names. So key education law change. Education in your will cover to in the right things I need. Ukaji dirko yina okay. And I'm truly use a very good tool, but I use wrongly, use it in the right way. Isn't it? The second one is change. A change. But you are embracing change. I don't catch people any ego. No. Actually, no mistakes. Mistakes for you pack local outsource. But gonna lead to economic crisis. We're gonna lead to when more than coin to NGO. When Yan Kuya oil money, who move and ten. We insert Binja will end. It is a lie. I think it's a Louis. I think the Tom Tobacco Louis. Now, Lola Nura, Lola Nura, what or Dagana, Lola Nura, Louis, no, I think Mugula, then no land here, Corbin Louis. By now, like Dora Thon, please. Man, the way to talk people think you know something is not working right. Your philosophy, do any use any wrong Thon? Your way you know money, any wrong. Kaya association do any wrong. Either man do tool the into money. Now, afternoon program, you tool no. Nala, you are like a tool of the man, did ya Paul a game of Paul on the Thon again? The people get again. So really, balabay to myself, and Chiranda, I died believe. Even I can't choke it down. Good question, I never level and I can let you get it around. Because the best area to Barogir, Barogir, when I know how to turn the Bible, look here with it. And this gentleman, when you marry, I have come to my senses. I come one way. I have come to my senses. Nearly the way we walk, we mess whatever we mess, but of course, it wants all of us to come to our senses. The tongue and my core, I have to come to my senses. Yes, every time I cheer on the way, no. What is it that you are not doing right? Because the chinel will like a chill, we are by no can loy. Ying are talking in. You bongo you go queen. Tournament for the last 10 years in Nina Jabez yet. Each other one put a note to the graduation certificate be a coin. You see? Bajara jam ton kinnikin, ton kinnikin. Ton you dama do you manage the demand? Like now in the Ben to one, you much achieve a runi, a chan baja jam. Wabana happy new year. You much a coin. Banam Dorad Balo ton, kinne, ton, you much a loyal, ton, you much a loyal. Ton you dama do you manage it? Ton in our party that year. The big point is a thought. Go for and very important for the pure buffer. But Ninian in Jan in Daman, you told. You glare to music do yeah, the other chan, but music by alone for refreshment. But yeah, how long is music any in a woman? Banam la Dora Kachapan, you thought in a Gagan suit money. But in suit gentleman, as soon will get $200. You want to him in ton in $200. You can go cheer no winking of cheer. You will be Jacoin. Banamala do what I have not done. The change, the principles of change. What I have not done, the main thing. I have come to my senses. I accept change. One of my elders, they will eat money. I see a creeping, I see a creeping, Chola, thank you so much. I appreciate you and all this. Get I did down my good news. But if because get functionality, so you go and get Lomaka, big work, lay information, including get your person in. And this is rubbish. How can you write such a report? Instead, being ego to marry to love, you can and then somebody love one in. Okay, what didn't you do right? So this side, the second one is change. But again, every day I ask you, okay, principles of change because now okay, change every day. Why keep go every day? So that why you must work again, isn't it? For who wanted you to change it, so having the old tools to address the new problem, a problem itself, or not even understanding the right tools, a problem, isn't it? Or being in the company of people who appreciate you when you are not supposed to be appreciated, it can be a problem. You need to be in the group of people who tell you, "Nah, don't go that way." Yes, walk talk, but look at you now. You would have encouraged to move forward. Then, as we go along, the next principle is the principle of excellence. I really emphasize excellence. God, even the Satan, actually mediocrity. Even ranga talent, gamben jom raila lui, all divine powers have been in our core level of excellence. This mentality, Sudan I think pilot book piloting book class. Angela Ben with that level of mediocre kind of a system. Which are be pastor blessed in church. Now, nearly a poor quality. Nearly a poor quality. So, excellence is the core. And that's why the opportunities are limited. One day I had an opportunity by some work below in the Netherlands. Yeah, a few things are the low. Every time I keep challenging myself. Because Nabu Yoguman Theo, which I lecture at the university. Very soon I will finish my PhD. Now I challenge within the country who are don't get a later of neighboring country. Even the professor becomes a refugee. The university are open. You came, isn't it? We neighboring countries to Makara University, Nairobi, Chicago. You which are young, but you cannot keep to that level of mediocrity. You know, I had only produced that level that can work between Nimole to the Allah border than Sudan. Because that why Louis within the county level. I have produced a thing. Can I just it is good enough to give you entitlement because of Kumakada. But you know, nearly the be work up in the kitchen border to the town. High politicians. Because I will tell the border, but the political your political border. I in curtains. I sit around. The tongue one way can exist anywhere. Human being a little bit anywhere, well, anywhere. That means that I can deliver the best anywhere. So the principle I consider when as I work now, and a lecture, I didn't could buy a lecture, University of Juba. What do friends, when we colleagues, those who teach in Harvard University, Oxford University, Carnegie Mellon, what do they do? If there is a level of training, those ways they live, let me lift them. If they do publication, let me publish. If they do all the, let me do that. So excellence, excellence. Doctor, you are doctor anywhere. Accountant, you are an accountant anywhere. Not our CPA. You got a CPA. Well, will be accountant. Well, will be another CPA. You need to recognize the you know. So really, that level of excellence. You know, this book Proverbs 22 verse 29 inspires me a lot. Lord Angelo, the lawyer will stand before kings, not before common men. You know, now can the kings can serve, don't stop. Now in now when I check the restaurant, we have a point who can bend part time borrowing by law because your level of quality with their level of money we buy together. Then you see, no, this is okay. Let me do that, but let me do to another level. We are producing excellence. You know, excellence alone, a force of attraction. You will really be surprised by the level of look at that ben ka pay ka bay, but I excellence ka bay. Into in a Kirtano in a Christian, live to to Kapaki Rabba Baji business jogga bogan mande. Bogan are mandian because Kia Pedi to Kula teeth, isn't it? Yes, because I caught Benjamin the man they are here, I see better to Kula Puget the entire thing. But what are quality? Iran a job, which are service at the liver, and a let's get a pet, the cabo. No quarrel and peer than the chain, isn't it? Kulu with quality. Nearly, be one opinion, go why means we have that level of high quality because, you know, I know countries come now, well, be pan, so automatically I need to one up. Yes, by the virtue of a country, be it because they take through some good level of quality assurance. Koikelu are well-educated people. Company be and thing, you know, nearly. Now, when I walk a image of God, it means that we're very quality people. So, and walk a nyan nearly, which are a daughter of the king, a princess, isn't it? Yes, who can a prince. So, in that level, what quality can we produce? So, he will pen will surface to other level because of poor quality. Produce at that level, just that level of poor quality, then it also becomes a challenge. Productivity, I will end at that. Productivity. There is a difference between being busy and being effective. All of us, we are busy, but successful people who are effective. You know, another coach, koi ga bon mi adu jela koi ga bon ta ti watching for do me to one denario because ki core to produce results that you occupy time. You know, in Lebanon, you what is able to do is occupy time. Whether chilu occupy the man or lu occupy it can take to the man. Because all of us we are entitled to 24 hours. Chapter 13, you will still spend that 24 hours. So where is the difference? Then what you produce within the 24 hours. You see? And not only by you that kitchen produce contributed to his life within the 24 hours, only 0.001%, isn't it? So what is important? I results. I work. What is important? I result. If any man to put actually in the exam, Karana bit Yamala, a chair, and go because the top is given. And I went after 15 minutes. Could you after 1 hour when I get on to get Piniran? When I let Yamala, because key law within the time, what matters. So I try as much as possible to see that let me move from being effective, being busy to being effective. Yes, good judge about job with Thon. What you can loy ali man ban you will kungen go to dani wala ni tene taro hotel. You jaw ngi yar basa jar kay du bana kay tiada junu. Gar tung dan chu loy. We will be busy. No problem with that. We'll be busy. But are we effective? Can that one produce results? Najala ba la ku jal madam na yogu la kunyeli ara return for few wa kwa few. The question I love then, you are to a through chol, isn't it? You can't to a through chicken game. So kun ale ruri agulu lim and yeni jaja ma bi piu bi kime toy. Wa ken jati kwanjin bajan chene ke ja kambe because the man chala is friend because kicha ben na experience. But all those I see a coin in productivity. Among 5 tasks, among the must do tasks, alone you could do it. Lone is a pobala me done by quarter, but pure the chan, but a ben here and it's your train. You can know run a nap, will uncle a ben and a ginger tire. How? A ben a ginger tire. It's not possible. Because the training, that level of training, there are courage and but is that type of a person, isn't it? So among that level of rigorous training is supposed to be taken. Yes. So the killer must do tasks every day. Lone suppose and for example, be man to look by a lawyer. Their quality lawyer, their quality engineer, accountant, doctor, historian, and okay, that is good. How much of that do we do every day? Yes. So na labu la kwa la gatul kan jama theater ku crisis mo okay this theater ku crisis how much does it contribute to being a doctor? You see, come my colleague went to the library la put anatomy and physiology and biochemistry then care and to the goal. So key for the main thing and the must do because should do task. Chiduta can also contribute. That's why the liberal you to exam. The exam we mention what is this answer. We mention what is 1 mark, 2 marks, another quarter, the 15 marks is the entire exam. The exam we liberal you mention what is it I take a poll. We can only 25 marks in or can only 15, can only 10, because at the end then how productive have you been? Yes, yes. Of course. So in that level of productive, you allow us to do is nice to do. Nice to do tasks and again but barala name any time. In the back name the daman do jata. Mon yung loy chingal loy and free. Because I gel la anything away anytime nice to do. Near go to Kunguban, just nice to do. They just to pass time, isn't it? There is something dangerous kind of passing time. Passing time is what made the difference between Kekochi education and foolish virgins, one of the wise ones. It's just because how they make use of time. So if time can attract the title of foolishness, then how much more can we run away from that title? So productivity matters. The delegate, anong loy cock. The delegate, anong loy cock. Now yinging alibira and don't do it. Don't waste your time. We are assigned don't run we loy. For example, in Ongriai by Kukano Kwaku by Kukan Rana Pena there for delegate. So you know around so much attached to a little bit create ben alloy. No. There you won't be productive. So you will spend a lot of your time doing nice to do and delegated tasks. But which you should spend more on the tasks like must do. Kujela should do tasks. And by doing that, when you raise the productivity, it will be good. Every day, pushing every day is not a good idea. I do every day, man, like this. This is in Gangar, Kawakaloy, Miakunai, Miatik, and Wicked, including Gene. And suppose, but you turn Chaloy. I think period push, including knowledge, has to. I know a lot of time, between them, 1 million years. But why in 7 days? Because things have to be done within that specific time. Because timing has so many things. Timing is connected can influence, and not influence the within a given time. Time is connected can tools. Time is connected can people. Yeah, and that's why even 30 ruin and connected can time. And now Ruin is also strategic at a given point. I think this time okay, and then so Nigeria to place at that point until a customer. So time every serious. So productive every time keep on doing things at the right time. So that those are some of the tools which I can give practical which I use, and there are a lot more we can be expanded on.
Shukran, engineer. Ran up in a chilu land, ko ran up in a chia inspired, angyay, go lele, mia do well from now on, what karan ben abe that man mindset abe loy build. Kacha kanya I can kero ko ka banan ke tin well. It will be had a brand be kadang belief system, good belief system, loy instill in himself. That good belief system ay yani chalo create ben lekin nachin good belief system to in you ye in create bela wela kana charle kana chi yela kachin de lay intin so kujala tung ya important e brarot keep kaya updated. I remember those days joe lawyer and internship community ten e do well ya pet brand brand ya update so dune to chama Query 2020 a why kind of query man because technology a ben ko kaga kai ben yen quite poor most of quite ill by qualify but lon tool to kan yin a outdated so a ko barot updated nin kan you know so I remember nang lon why an applied in yen a chuka qualify likin resume dia kan tailor to lon because nowadays AATS selection yellow so na kana keyword ke ATS na kana ke master kuja ke tailored to ngati ba resume to ba tailored tailor kana ila kin chila chol we no qualified yating so apiat brand ya how mind ba doja update and when me adu nagra well CV to that what support ba gornom curriculum vitae angij buntere kana so yira na tell martial status the forward yira na tell religion the forward ngejadi man tinara an manin because of your religion kunyain jating kuyiran ci doj to anang masters wala anang PhD angot ka tell ngadi cara dan senior for what chatting so brand broad update brand alu lan yana ke tum daga korot ko kana abe ko ja ba ke glatwin shukran engineer abayan napol be dom to ko ten
No, anti doll, anti pin, anti chin mang, kaka, virtual world. If na to then when walk on you ten in person platform, this one ke, eka hear music na chat is je dita, where did it young Louis connect and I just very you watch you on the stage, and that's what I saw under the comment section to run. Apa yoga jauh ni people just want to know your name. Go up and Thon and an opinion, meeting with yourself. So thank you so much, engineer, for answering that question very well. The question was, what are the practical steps can young people, learn from you? Now you need to then to to adapt to the realities, and it was about the limited opportunities, and you dissected that, it's a limited opportunity. And I love that perspective. A limited mindset. So even though you can find something to do. So I really like that. And then and thanks for asking that question. So the next question now I can like that, open your mindset. If you find yourself there, no go you and your job with you and your job achieve you. Maybe it has something to do with you. You fix yourself. So the problem, Jala Benke, for example, and a flip, I've tried to look for a job, it didn't work. Well, I business they like got to it didn't work. I tell you in one of the video shows. After three business, I tell go to and they all fail. And sometimes no other young people they give up. So the question is, how can people rebuild confidence? Because if you try something doesn't work, you try that top girl in the Iran, now you don't know what to do next. You lose confidence. But business or gold you fail, you lose something, self-esteem. Very well, you will upgrade you upgrade yourself, go so now people sometimes give up because of small failures on the side. So how can young people build confidence, after going through failure to failure to failure, which is part of life, in school, in business, or relationship, or even in Kanisa, it's they are losing self-esteem too because there's failure even in God kingdom. So how do people develop confidence and thick skin to deal with those failures and still succeed?
Okay, yeah, thank you, thank you. Yes, when it comes to failures, I've really felt a lot of it. And now, Baba will really failure. You will ask if will fail. I can't understand that key failure feel a bit ego. Then you will always feel very bad about yourself. A ego in another level, no. Inche way, inche mistake a she loy. So now let to get a lawyer, I let a lawyer man, okay. It's supposed by loy. But now you live treated Chim and a man to man thin for paycheck. Well, the goal I live ever chat for you man for dear. But then other falling within it, a part of that kind of that stable chat, then you will not have a problem. Because can't talk about can't the bala one will and suppose but we succeed. So I say suppose but we fail. For example, the camera and a level approach. Like no. If you call the level and a gam, isn't it? So who can I share reality of life? I cheer an answer granted dictated a little. The answer book I dictated. He'll pose a question, then you expect an answer the other side. So na janum do dictate na de na gam. Chila rage. Kalalo yung rage because all your ecosystem aja designer de ki any la kan yi ne ke record. But la we che luya. Because because de che ra che lo e jamule lo ke ye tool ne ke lui. Tool ne che use ne ke lui pe. Isn't it? Kai other skills ko ke but just teach so many other things, but just teach around. Yeah. So, kill learn about failure. I think any failure, don't take it personal because we are learning. That's why, man, we are all happy to make a war. We are attending this session, which around we're feeling embarrassed about you and none what they change isn't it in the process when chat. They are talking man. But we appreciate the process because it's something that has to happen. So I'm working in that level of stability gain. So many things don't go the way you want them. Okay, I have learned that this is how they cannot work, isn't it? Children need electricity. Until discovered by this scientist, until we fail by electricity discover. So kita learn, but there's so many ways change Louis, isn't it? So life actually only about how it works. It's also about knowing why it doesn't work the way it is supposed to work, isn't it? So na cha yani that actually Louis la. Acha haka wali ga demane. Ina ka kan tem luo kujela laiko. Because the foreign actually only to work. Every when can't it work that way? So there'll be so many things to the game. So at my level, I learn personal. Nacha Louis fail. Look at okay. These are the results. Because key failure la big a big problem. I learn Louis fail. But the reality is that a system can Louis fail, isn't it? Yes. A system can Louis fail. For results, I think negative results, I think positive results. I label with our results, isn't it? So we lot pana came into malaria, HIV, kulela, for positive results, HIV. You can appear. Is it? Actually, what positivity in no meaning, isn't it? A effect of that word. And not any positivity, something that you will even be annoyed about it. Plan negativity leben is something that you can celebrate. Logo leru get pregnancy. Ukache pregnancy ko ka loye gulalwela ke positive. Ikin no celebration. Tong ra gol yu uni nya ku je lai nya gode. So ache issue ki a positive ka negative in our concern. Our concern, what are the results? Yes, when you get the results, okay, these are results are simple indicator that something went right or went wrong in the methodology. Then get the result now and go and troubleshoot the methodology, isn't it? Yes. So it is good enough we children attached to results. Results are simply telling us that methodology is okay, methodology is not okay. You have produced poor one, okay. Go back and refine it, can be good. And then from good now, go back and because the tools we can produce good are not the same as the one we can produce better, then there won't be difference. So that kind of refinery. So when you get the results, and they can understand that it hasn't worked, isn't it? And get to know why did it work the way it worked. Go back to the methodology. Go back to how you use time. Go back to the mentors, isn't it? Like now, you find that you are aspiring as a very good medical doctor. You can get a very good doctor, but and again your mentor in the aspect of medicine. Then now that's not right, isn't it? And now other aspects that I can add value, but I shouldn't be. So look at it this way. I'm not a case whereby result I have produced because so many things are not going right. Even you find that even your ego alone can be a big problem. Ego do level will know until why. Give me a word, you can isn't it? Instead of saying that I should learn. So in summary, achieve negative results, watching positive results. Now, cannot understand, you go to the hospital and check. Now, law you cannot result cause support visit no, achieve support and positive. Meaning that achieve one positive any problem, achieve one negative. Yes, then again, your results are indicators of what the system is. Yes. And of course, system, a concern can habits to process kujela the entire system so that will give us the goal, isn't it? So that's why na adla result like ben make a kin pi achiti ko in kin ko la into what habits chake develop. Yeah, the habits in the lui habits in the lui ke ka result are determined, isn't it? For example, niya kolam anda balad din la rantin la daman de thul the way it is la kolam kula anda but ko charge Thon Ujala de mature, Ujala de. So we can spend almost 1 hour between mature, Ujala de and all that, isn't it? But the reality is that how much of my life I spend on that? kaki ya low daily yana ga yara ta into the system will result you produce Allah will run away from that. Malay been a long business. The business will fail, isn't it? The business will fail. The business can like jangulele. As far as based on the establishment, nothing any get result jagala you Allah because I can go in business then a bank a loss or a profit, isn't it? Yeah, then get a ben either a loss or a profit. But I know business is called damanda. You can assume little lie. It's in hotel. Yeah, when you carry them and it's hotel and jerata. In the core Angera in Kula Hotel Angera Lolo. So we assume demands of the customers. Man, it's in Hotel Angera to so Range. In Agala, you could judge Range, really. The war go Ethiopia would be no Amacha Angera. So in a Bangalore business, establish business that is not meeting the demands of the customers. That is why even as I'm talking now, I'm changing things. We are in this environment whereby people don't have time. You have to meet the needs of people at their convenience. So to go online. Google be online, ana ko pure programming pure online. But you at his convenience or her convenience. Now, a group of people. Well, yes, we are going to do the training and all that. Tell you that yes, I people who love things. Love to love something. Loving something. A tool as such. Even that's why I cannot popular but they love heaven. But King Law, they love heaven, but they establish a methodology. So love is not necessarily something that supports. But I think that love is accompanied by enthusiasm, a well-structured system that has habits process. Can be their goal. So as I'm learning in this process, can banang cells, ever convenience, but problem that are not solved. You call my customer base. Ka customer alu bagi you kan ka ko ka ni arranjera ben baralo you ga why no ran ko ba anjera they are delivered to apartment. You get convenient that is how it looks at how you are solving his problem. To that customer level and not some level of price differentiation. Kulo need ke rana mi na chan need ke amit ba ngari mi adu kulo deliver ka lo inji problem they solve. But rana bu ti di char ki wona to dun jalle mu ulel ka ba ya pen ka you get some kind of bothering him. Aha. So if we need your core customer, your core exactly. Yesterday convenience, the accessibility, price issues, reliability, trust. Those 5 stars mainly achieve products. They trust and reliability. Because the same in a local restaurant, only people go 5 star like that. Because I don't trust and reliability. So they say, what are you packaging? Now accessibility, make sure that because I like you to opening an office enough. I know coil you did the question make like kind of pricing. They make like kind of pricing. Now check some cup that on the price because you have met the requirements of that. So we talked about failure, positive anti-positive results, you quanti good results, you result positive result, negative result, I results. If you choose to give them meaning, if you choose to attach meanings to them, then understand that they are indicators of something that did not go right in the methodology. In a business, let us not assume. Anong case can assume that can in the core quite. Unlike a lie that any core that or cake. Kagalaton can problems by can solve. Kuna can problem can solve that do. The need be who can buy to buy that product. So if you can yung core ke core at what level your convenience, your reliability core ke accessibility. But you exactly yung core ke kalaga ten okay then will reduce the chances of failure. Then we get that level of the failure, with the hope that when I master this, meaning the level any child you can achieve master again, isn't it? When a man I do ka chak weak, that level be master until be a child, until na ben level car. So meaning they work. Let us understand a system because the entire world is a system. The system machine a shortcut. Now learn a long shortcut, you will have a disappointment. You never understand until you yes, then I will gain that level of stability. To how if I get no consultation from mentors, from books, with the other sources and knowing exactly what the client wants.
Wow, wow, wow. You even changed my mindset on how to, to evaluate my failures. Thank you so much. I know a lot of things on Kajwika, when we jam thin, but why we are running out of time. So maybe a book is summarized. But
Yes.
I really, really enjoy like how you answered it. And Akima, actually, my comment, I think, always. Sometimes we focus about, what happened or how it happened, but really not asking the question why. Why did it fail? And that is my takeaway from this, like asking yeah, my habit, yeah, my method, yeah, use, yeah, whatever, all the advice, like, yeah, I'll need to put them in perspective. Could you, I do have like a short burning question, and then we will close the conversation with our U-turn message call.
No, I'm good. I can question Tauman.
Perfect, perfect. So can you engineer? I think this conversation of book resume. There are more questions. Can we think question being added? Can our audience can teach or can teach, and we don't have enough time to answer because why have time? So my question, and which is our U10 message question, is if you were to summarize this and provide your final U10 message to young people that are watching this show or that will go and watch it, what would that U10 message be like on how to become whole? Looking at all the challenges, talk about financial, economic, social, familial problem, society problem, ambition and everything. And they are at this crossroad looking at where should I make U-turn? What advice would you give them? And would you give to the communities or families that these young people live on how best to support them on this journey?
What I think you done. Yes, in summary, I would say that this message of success will start gradually. What you do, I talked about excellence. With the tools you have now, produce something. I tell you now, they get poor quality. So that is what can be produced by those tools. Then you refine the tools and the level of knowledge, and then produce that which is, if it is poor, actually poor, and then the bad and the rest will come until you go to good and better and to the best, so that you cannot get discouraged in the process. Then secondly, we solve a big problem using that these colleagues of ours here, we all know that fishbone principle, whereby really many of the Tulugu young by we want to come here at a time. Don't why complex. So ki alwe to no tio nakaro problem se bagaso ke bagole no. Kidi mainly a girl belief system and consistency. Yes. Which alwe below 2011 I had challenges. 2011, 2012, and ke boss support bagaqueen. I was inspired by so many inspirational speakers. Watching Miles Monroe, Brian Tracy, John C. Maxwell, and this George of Nigeria, and so many others. But coming to work, we are difficult by happen as I wanted. So the quality what part bakan so bakan chopping. You could do habits in one in one like chopping that bakan small part in jail get strong. Kuja long jail bella attack slowly by slowly. That is how you can conquer. That's how you can conquer yourself. And to ensure that habits, both the negative habits and the positive ones, they are voters. So key human being loyal to make sure that you win many positive habits so that when they vote, they override the negative ones. Then it means that yours, your plans will succeed. Developing positive habits and starting with that one thing that you can manage. Now, habit ke kor bagi chokapin until by chin problem. Ulan am kun every day am kun dia by chokpin. You can that part that train for the whether 6 months or 1 year. You can't change problem on this part time management. But can chokpin. Let me produce it with the tools I have. By learning from that, yes, but can those tools but can lose. So by the entire system, do entire system, the agenda when discouraged, but conquered slowly by slowly. As I keep on reading and consulting the mentorship of others. Thank you.
Wow, wow, that's powerful U-turn message. Thank you so much, engineer, for your time, for your wisdom, and everyone, please share this message. That is how you contribute to the community. I think it what this message, you couple of and be a ping. So Louis share. Thank you so much, Ruben Pancholan. Kinomar, Koi Diria, because you advice. And I'm wearing no walk Benadia. Walk out here, try to view your global quack, walk with quack. So, engineers are full of wisdom, full of, information. And so let's go out today. And from this show, write 3 things. Chakeglan and put them to a U-turn message book. Tao kekena book a jalo kwen, one kwen yeah, the U-turn folks and will respond and engineer on as well. So thank you so much for your time. Could you actually not around kin about your 3 things Chakeglan from this show? We don't have to hold down engineer if it's, we really appreciate. And we'll continue this discussion. And if you don't know engineer Thon has assigned himself to be a U-turn champion U-turn advocate on this platform, and you will be seeing his face once a month. Toward the last Saturday of the month, I'll be will be inspired, will be educate on how to make a positive U-turn in a way when Ben walk Peter job and success front. So thank you, engineer. Nyalik Kenny Yin. Could you judge 3 things who showed that you have to on your end?
Yeah, 3 things chake lan tung tueng da ke balui lan chi learning chi belui stop etong da ka kor because na chepwen kain ku direction do. Okay, so dang row chalan e ba road yai ba road ayen ability when le be in road ya afam chinin le wakana baya pa mi adur baya lwel hey anan kwer anan le wakana okay chi road be chakadan ko kira kar ko ke important chi be ya yes person na lwel en hey balo ko ter party yes in available bago kema available anyhow kana kana chalan ko ka so make sure you utilize your time ay daman che yin kadang make good use of kadang chon kadang chon alarm clock so alarm clock yeron ngadi ye time do you manage using alarm clock ay daman kadang ki ka je ten so ay ke ka chakala na ko shukran na red engineer shukran akwala ya dang.
Thank you for sharing your U-turn message. 3 things, Chakeglan, and thank you, Manyang, for sharing yours. AKI draw U-turn mean change, transformation to the right direction. So thank you for asking. On this platform, we educate, we inspire, and we spotlight people like Engineer Thon who are doing change in our community, so that we messing them the community the war the U-turn in a positive direction. So thank you for asking. And for me, three things I can learn. One is to sit down with myself, then to receive not to blame system, not to blame society, not to blame Trump, but to ask myself, what is it that I'm not doing right? Ye koto PD, ye kayak, my habits. What do I need to fix instead of looking outside for a reason why things are not working in my life? Thank you so much, Thon, for that. Also, when I fail, I have to know that failure is a feedback. Actually, no, any right as a person, but it's method that we use or tool that we use actually work. And finally, of course, to be flexible, to be adaptable, and to listen for mentorship, either in the books, people, you turn, or people on, they can think, okay, could be PDOR. So thank you, everyone. Next Saturday, we will also talk about success in this, but be academic success, how to make a U-turn academically. Or we will be, we will be spotlighting Dr. Akola Gwengong, one of the lost boy who has succeeded academically, supporting young people, mentoring next generation of leaders. So I've been to the work where Ben lays U-turn journey and a U-turn message on how to succeed on that front. So thank you. Always come to the U-turn platform, share the content, and also let us know if there are topics or if there are people within your network. Book a invite, big work Ben guide, big work Ben and wisdom, engineer. So thank you everyone. We're going to contribute. Thank you, engineer Mbuja Paul. Next month, we can't wait to have you back to continue this discussion. Bye bye. Bye bye.